If you are successful in your career or you simply feel a master in any area of life, I can guarantee it comes down to one word: standards. But if you're not where you want to be physically or not happy with how you feel mentally, in this episode of the Kirk Miller Podcast, I'm going to share with you 10 ways that form and condition a set of new higher standards. Because I really believe that the word standards epitomizes every great leader that's ever walked this earth, every great sportsman maybe you and I look up to right now, and simply execute consistency month to month, year to year, in whatever respective field it is. I believe standards separates the doers from the talkers. Standards separate people who continually grow from those who don't. And standards, they, for me, epitomize people who are really making a big difference in the world just now. And some of the things I'm going to share with you from these 10 ways to condition new standards, you may be implementing these in your career or in your business to have achieved that high level of success as it is. But sometimes with regards to our health, fitness, looking after our body, etc., we simply forget these basic principles. We forget this way of thinking because maybe it hasn't been a priority, or we don't understand the deeper value and relationship between some of these things in relation to the things we value most. Because maybe just like a lot of my clients who come to me and work with me in the Built to Last program, they are phenomenal in their respective field, masters of their craft, fantastic family men, but sometimes they don't operate with the same standards, obviously with their health and fitness and looking after their own body, hence why, of course, they've invested in me. But my job is to simply squeeze out those traits they've already got inside them with their health and fitness. Because everyone, I believe, deep down, wants to grow. Everyone deep down, for me, wants to become better. They want to really, maximize their potential in life. I think anyone deep down who says otherwise maybe isn't around the right people, maybe they're in a job they shouldn't be doing, or they're just lacking a little bit of inspiration just now. So I want to share with you 10 different things that hopefully will help elevate your perspective and way of thinking when it comes to operate with higher standards. Because if your goal is to build a better body, live with more confidence, operate with more energy than maybe what you have just now, then we probably need to up our standards in a few areas, okay? And this subject is really, really passionate to me, and probably going to be one of my most favorite podcast episodes, because I know what it's like to have had periods in my life where I didn't operate with supremely high standards, and as a result, life gets a bit sticky. You maybe have a bit more reactive behavior. You don't attract the things that you want to in life, okay? But when you operate with phenomenal standards, it's amazing what opportunities present themselves to you, the higher level of person you potentially attract, and simply you feel better. When you're consistent with your standards, you become consistent with your feelings. Remember, how you feel ultimately is a large sort of KPI on the quality of your life just now. So, number one, have a never off it mentality. Have a never off it mentality. Never get complacent with your standards. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. I love sort of relaxing, being stupid, letting loose every now and then with, relaxing food, a drink or 10 every now and then. But operate with a never off it mentality. Don't be one of these people that is looking back every single year, evaluating the weeks you've been on it and the weeks you've been off it. Okay? Because that is one of the most common things I hear with people who fail to operate with consistency when it comes to their health, fitness, and basically their own sort of personal management, as I'll come on to in a second. So operate with a never off it mentality. If you ever find yourself saying, oh, I'm off it, or I need to get back on it, ask yourself, what are the habits? What is the thought process? What are you doing differently on the weeks you're off it as opposed to the weeks you feel on it? Because if you feel you've had days or weeks or even months where maybe you've been off it and your standards have been lower, like identify what is actually causing you to feel off it, or, you know, sort of execute habits that are helping you sort of feel this way. Okay, so identify what is that thing, what's holding you back. All right, but have a never off it mentality. Look at the people you look up to in sport, in business, and maybe even just ask yourself wholeheartedly, do you ever have a off it mentality in your business? I can almost guarantee you don't, because there's a deeper consequence to that. If you're not making money, if you're not growing your business, then the consequences are that it's going to impact your family, your ability to do nice things. So if you can operate with that never off it mentality in that area, then have that same thought process the moment you are tempted to be off it when it comes to looking after your health and fitness, getting the sessions in, eating the healthy food, all right? But have a never off it mentality. Never ever get complacent. All the best people, you know, in the respective fields, in my opinion, have that mentality. Number 2, optimize your personal organization. Optimize your personal organization. So many business leaders, entrepreneurs, successful people in business and making money are phenomenal when it comes to their organization, with business tasks, creating roles and responsibilities, project management, but they're shit at their own personal organization. You always put other people's needs before your own, especially when it comes to health and fitness. Okay, so as much as, just like myself and my team, we are absolutely obsessed with delivering phenomenal service to the people that are paying us to get a result. Okay, but you can't maximize that if you're not looking after yourself. So are you as organized looking after your own personal management with your training, your food, your sleep, etc., as you are with your organization, with your company? Okay, I can pretty much guarantee on a week-to-week basis, or even every quarter as an absolute minimum, you'd be supremely organized with key tasks. Who do you need? What do you need to do? What do you need to improve? Who do you need to hire? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? But this is what we need to do with our own personal organization, because the more organized we are, the easier it is to implement the habits that are going to help us build that better body, help us live with more energy, which of course the spin-off from that is you execute with more productivity in your business. So optimize your own personal organization. What is the one thing you can do every day, every week, every month that will guarantee you're more organized in your own personal project management? Number 3, show people how hard you train. You might think, like, why do you give a fuck what people think about how hard you train, right? Deep down, you're always doing it for yourself, of course. But it's another way of saying be the hardest worker in the room. What's going to help elevate your standards and make you feel good and attach more pleasure to health and fitness and breed more consistency is having that sort of show people how hard you can train mentality. Because so often, you know, and this will apply in many other areas of life, we want to be significant. We want to be viewed as important, okay? You probably feel that way in your career. You know, you get significance and status by being the leader of the ship, by being the standard. And whether you're an athlete or not, whether you're a bodybuilder or not, okay, all of my clients, none of these are bodybuilders, none of these are coming to me as athletes, but they build, especially with our help, a fucking ruthless mentality where they are literally the hardest workers in the room, okay? If you were to watch my clients in the gym, you would look at them and think, what the fuck are these guys doing? Because they've raised their standards. They're doing it for themselves, but we sort of drill into their mindset that when you're in the gym, okay, you be that person that people are looking at for motivation. They can smell your energy when you're sort of executing the reps and the intent. So show people how hard you train. All right? Because for me, the best leaders demonstrate. They don't just tell you what to do. They don't just talk. They fucking viciously execute. So if you're trying to build a better body, whether you're training for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it is, fucking like be the hardest worker in the room and demonstrate. Okay? Show people, and more importantly, show yourself how hard you can work. Because contrary to some of the bullshit that I see on social media from some of the coaches and influencers, okay, to build a body you've never had, you need to operate with standards you've never implemented on a consistent basis. Number 4, value food like investments. If you want to reach a new standard with how you look, how you feel, the energy and the vibrancy you walk around with, then we need to start valuing food a little bit more. We need to start taking a bit more care with the calories that we're putting in our mouth, because that is making a direct impact on the energy focus and performance in our work, in our training sessions. So look on food like you look on investments. I can pretty much guarantee that when you make investments in business, whether it's stocks, shares, property, crypto, whatever it may be, there's so many things out there people can invest in just now. I can guarantee you do that with extreme care and attention, because you want a return on investment on that hard-earned money. And even though food isn't giving you that tangible return in the form of like a note in your hand or another zero on your bank account, it is playing a large part, in your long-term health, in longevity, in your productivity over a 8, 12, 16-hour day, whatever you work. But you can't ever optimize these things if we're not really taking a bit more care with our food. So look at your food with as much care and attention as your investment. And it's not about being shredded and all that bullshit. But the food you are eating is playing a monumental role in the long-term return on investment with your health. With, whether or not you're going to be on this planet, for an extra 5-10 years, maybe then what you won't be if you don't start eating it a little bit better. You don't need to be perfect, but just look at your food as investments and just notice the difference in your personal, professional, and emotional way of being. Number 5, master everything you do. Okay? Master everything you do. To reach new standards, we need to become masters with our habits. And even if training just now, eating obviously healthy food, the way you plan your week, whatever it may be, isn't necessarily a high value to you just now, do it thoroughly. Do it thoroughly. Master everything. So even if you are someone who can't train every day just now, but maybe you can train 3 times a week, become a fucking master in that given session. Do it properly. Okay? I can guarantee one of the things that has helped you feel valuable and feel important, and I'll keep using this word, significant, in a given area, and gives you a sense of certainty, is you've mastered that skill set. You've mastered repeatedly a set of habits and rituals and optimize your learning in a given area. And if you are trying to take your mind, body, physical shape, and emotional and physical fitness to another level, then you looking on these things that contribute to that as an opportunity to master it is going to help you do that. So even my clients, they're not coming to me, even though some of them, of course, do look shredded on the front end. They're not coming to me to get shredded. They're not coming to me necessarily, especially on that first phone call with me, to maybe master health and fitness. But the way we teach is with that approach. We want to make them that self-sufficient, because the more you are mastering something, the more progress you're going to see, and then you don't lack motivation. And then what that also does is when you are mastering all these little things, mastering the way you train, mastering even outsourcing your food, it sounds stupid, but being the master at actually delegating your food if you can't stick to your food, or being the master at, tracking your calories, as little as it may seem, that's going to help expand your identity. That's going to help breed consistency, because you're going to get momentum. And think of a time of your life, or even in the past year, where you felt unstoppable, you created momentum. I can guarantee you are mastering loads of these little daily habits and rituals. So look at everything you do, however small, and think, how can I master this? Okay, don't do it half-assed. Don't do it half-assed, because again, I'll keep coming back to this. The people you look up to in life just now, or the reason people look up to you just now in certain areas, is because you're a fucking master in that area, or you're looking at other people in their respective fields and go, like, they're fucking masters at this because they just do things to a supremely high standard. Okay? Number 6, and some of these tie in together, and obviously that a lot of them are mindset-based principles, but there's a reason for this. There's a reason I look the way I do. There's a reason my clients look the way they do, is because they control their fucking mindset. They really elevate their way of thinking. And as a result, when you elevate your way of thinking, your way of doing soon follows. But number 6, become more valuable. Become more valuable, right? One of the ways to really become a better leader, really have more people reaching out to you and looking up to you, is to become more valuable. You would have done it, no doubt, in your career. You would have learned more, become more. As a result, you're more indispensable. You're more in demand. You might be able to charge more in your respective business. And you might think, what the fuck has this got to do with building a great body, building, more physical fitness? But if you have a mindset of becoming more valuable, what's going to help you become more valuable when it comes to your identity is looking better, training harder, being more disciplined with your food. Because what's going to help you become more valuable is becoming more confident, being fitter, being a better leader, becoming more influential. And we can't become more valuable or more influential, right, and truly master influence if we can't master ourselves first. If we're not really continually look to become as valuable as possible. And what's going to help us become more valuable, become more influential, is elevating our own personal standards. Really becoming more, looking better, feeling better, being the fucking energy that when you walk into a room, people smell it. There's a saying that your energy will introduce you way before you speak. And you can't be that literally beacon of like high energy if we're not valuing and becoming more valuable physically and with the way we're managing ourselves. So become more valuable, and again, notice how you influence on your business, within your family, really upgrades. Number 7, what's going to help you do that, and for me, really acts as the most powerful reminders when it comes to operate at high standards, is having 3 success words. 3 success words that really remind you every single day, like, who are you, your absolute best, when you are really like operating with higher standards. Have 3 words that are staring you in the face every single day, or even as reminders on your phone. What are your 3 success words that have made you successful so far, that have helped you reach a standard in your respective field, professionally, or even as a father with your standards? What has made you successful? For me, the 3 words that I sort of have stare me in the face every single day: world-class, consistent, and typically standards. So even if there are some days where I want to get sloppy with my standards, I can't be fucked to train, I'm maybe tempted to be procrastinating with work tasks, I don't really fancy eating, some fucking vegetables or healthy food that given day. If I have these 3 words which epitomize me at my absolute best, stare me in the face, then I'm more likely to be that person and sort of embody those words on those days. Of course, you're not going to be perfect, but over a calendar year, if you have these words staring you in the face on a daily basis, I can fucking guarantee the standards that you operate with, the decisions you make, your behavior, your thought process will be a lot more fruitful than negative over the years. Okay, so literally think what are the 3 success words I need to show up as every single day? The next one, think who needs my A game? Who needs you at your absolute best? Because so often we will do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. And one of the things that keeps my standards high, and I feel this probably keeps your standards high, whether you realize it or not within your business, is not wanting to let other people down. Not wanting to let other people down. So often we do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. But we don't think of this when it comes to our health, fitness habits in relation to our health and fitness and our body. Okay? So think, who needs my A game? And would you agree that you can't really be on your A game if you're not feeling healthy, you're not feeling energized, and you're not feeling confident with how you look? So think, who needs my A game? Who am I letting down if my standards are slipping when it comes to my own personal management, my own personal standards? Who is going to be negatively influenced if I don't operate at my best, or at least try my best on a daily basis? Is it your team? Is it your partner? Is it your friends? Is it your kids? Because I talk about the ripple effect all the time within my community, Built to Last community. What keeps my standards high is knowing that if my standards slip, the people who are investing in me, their standards are going to slip, because they're looking to me to lead the ship. Okay, be the standard. So if my standards slip, it's going to influence them, and then who else is that going to influence? That's going to impact the people that they want to be a role model for, their kids, their partners. So for me, thinking continually who needs my A game is probably the number one reason why I'm so ruthlessly consistent with how I look, with how I eat, how I carry myself. Of course, without being boring, I still enjoy my weekends and stuff, but that is what keeps me in shape year round. And I guarantee that if you were more clear and reminded yourself every single fucking day, who needs my A game, you're more likely to eat healthier, train with more intent and more frequently, and you're more likely to move even when you don't want to. So think, who am I letting down if I'm not at my absolute best? Number 9, evaluate expectations. The only way you can continually feel disappointed with how you look, how you feel, is a failure to manage expectations. And I may have spoke about this previously, but a failure to manage expectations is the number one thing which for me causes a negative emotion. Okay, so really evaluating with 100% honesty your expectations in relation to your actions and decisions on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is absolutely paramount to building and conditioning higher standards. So you need to assess on a daily, weekly basis, what are my expectations with how I want to look, say, for example, in a week's time? How do I want to look? How do I want to feel? And are the inputs, my thoughts, feelings, actions, and behavior in line with that? Because I can guarantee you doing this in business. You evaluate in the target, the outcome you want, and asking yourself, are the inputs, is the system, is the work that me and my team are willing to do going to bring forth that outcome? And that's exactly what you need to do with your own personal expectations and standards. Because the better you manage your own expectations and evaluate with 100% honesty, the more momentum you're going to build. Because when you are continually matching expectations week to week, month to month, that's when you grow as a person. That's when you'll naturally expand your identity, because you just breed consistency. And for me, consistency and high standards, they work together. You can't be really, really, really consistent with your health, fitness, and body without high standards. And if you've got high standards with your health, fitness, or your decisions related to that, you'll as a byproduct, you'll be consistent, and the body will take care of itself. Then lastly, number 10, tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth. So many people say they're going to do something and then don't follow through. And not only will this be detrimental to your own personal standards, but it's the fastest way to drain confidence. You must tell yourself the truth when you are evaluating your own personal standards. So many people bullshit themselves. So many people bullshit themselves. Okay? I can guarantee think of an area of your life right now where you know you are fucking a machine. You feel invincible. You feel, top of the tree. I can guarantee you're really, really honest with yourself, and you would have been really, really honest with yourself in pursuit of that level of excellence, in pursuit of that level of mastery. So you must tell yourself the truth when it comes to your own personal standards with how you eat, how you move, how you sleep, how you train. Okay? Because the more you tell yourself the truth, okay, the easier it is to identify the areas and the habits that maybe where your standards are falling short, maybe where your habits are falling short. So keep your promises, tell yourself the truth, and watch standards and consistency accelerate with that. As always, I'm going to end with 3 questions. I'm going to call these the 3 standard questions, because I firmly believe if you ask yourself better questions, you'll have more awareness of the answers and, more importantly, the actions that need to follow to answer those questions. All right? So number 1, what makes a healthy, strong leader? What makes a healthy, strong leader? Because if you can identify with clarity and say 3 to 5 bullet points, what makes a healthy, strong leader, then you know clearly what it takes to be a healthy, strong leader. And then with those answers, ask yourself, am I being those traits? Am I being that healthy, strong leader? And if not, what are the 1 to 3 things that would shift the needle most right now in becoming that healthy, strong leader? Number 2, does your language, choices, and standards inspire the people you care about most? Do the words that come out your mouth, your decisions, your actions, your personal standards, would the people you care about most, would they be inspired or disappointed right now with the way you eat, the way you move, the way you think, the way you value, and the way you take responsibility with your health and fitness, with your habits? Would they look up to you? Would you be proud if they followed suit? Sounds ruthless, right? Direct, but these are the things you really need to identify, and these are the things that will motivate you to become better and raise standards. If, when you're answering that question, you think, you know what, I wouldn't really want my kids to do what I'm doing. I wouldn't really want my colleagues or my family or my friends or the people I care about to sort of mirror my behavior, mirror my language. Are the words that come out your mouth positive? So really ask yourself that question with honesty. 3rd and final question. If your current standards are not as inspirational as what you feel they could be in relation to the people and the things you care about most, what is the one thing you can do right now to up your standards? Think of the 10 things I've gone through today. What is the one thing right now that will upgrade your standards immediately, would take you to another level, would take your body to another level, take your energy to another level, take your consistency, and simply make you think a little bit better about yourself and your health? Where can you become more valuable right now? What is the one standard that you could take from a should do to a must do, that you could condition over the next 30 days and more to take you to another level? All right, but ask yourself those 3 questions. Finally, I want to leave you with a quote, and this is one of my most favorite quotes. Be the standard you wish others to emulate. Because if we look sometimes at our team, our family, our kids, anyone we care about, or anyone we think, oh God, they could be a bit better. I wish they did X. I wish they did Y. I wish they ate better. I wish they moved better. I wish they, they were just more consistent. They were just happier, whatever it may be. Be the standard you wish others to emulate. It's what great leaders do. They don't just tell people, as I said in one of the previous points, they demonstrate, they step up consistently. When standards drop, they're the person to raise the bar repeatedly, not just for a week, not just for a month, but year round, every single year. As I said towards the start of this podcast, study anyone great. They operate with ruthless consistency and high standards. And I know deep down, if you've watched all the way through or listened all the way through to this podcast, I know deep down you want to become more, you want to be better, and there's an area maybe with your own personal standards that deep down you know you can step up another gear, okay? And that's a wrap, guys. I know I speak with a lot of intensity on this subject, but it really is that passionate about me because, in order to be happy with how you feel and simply just to create a better quality of life, it's going to be shaped by the standards that you're choosing to live with on a daily basis. So thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe, share with anyone who you feel could take monumental value from this, and I'll see you next time.